Yes, I signed my soul on the dotted line. Okay, those are my boys. They want to know where you are now. Are you in Malibu? Are you in where are you hollering from now?
Right now, I'm in Toronto. I'm in the house that I rent with my little children here in my single momdom. But in a week, I'll be back down to Santa Monica.
Okay, and Santa Monica is where you hail from?
No, I come from Toronto. I've only just started to be between LA and Toronto in my career because of the business, as you know, Adam, the comedy, TV, entertainment business.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, okay. Did you just trail off with the comedy, TV, entertainment business?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, that's some delivery. We need a studio audience because once in a while I need someone to hold up an applause sign because I am lost to nowhere's end. And I also want to be open with you. And you do respond as more than just a comedian. Is that correct? Like you don't walk around saying, no, I'm a stand-up. That's what I am. I'm a stand-up.
No, I don't do that. I have a funny relationship with the stand-up world. For me, I started off as an actress and then I happened to be an actor who wrote. So I guess I could call myself as an actor writer. And I am lucky enough to have success as an actor where people hire me and I have a lot of voice gigs. So it's actor voice artist. And then I write a lot of my own shows. So it's actor writer. And more recently in the last, I would say 4 years, it's like if I call myself a comedian, that covers a lot. It covers so much. And people like stand-ups. People look for stand-ups. And I didn't come up through the clubs. I came up through the fringe circuits or doing my one-person shows. So
well, you're also you're Second City alumni, is that not right? Or
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, well, no, that's where you came through. Then that's the Mike Myers. That's the other side. That's the sketch.
Yeah.
That's the
improv. And
yeah. Taking that to a one-woman show or a one-person show, if we're going to be ridiculous. Taking everything and then writing it as a monologuist, and it's funny. So you get to go with the one-woman show. I find doesn't necessarily have to be written. Like it could go like improv because the people in the crowd let you know what they want or do not want to hear, and then it sort of can change your act.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so that's hard to do when you're trying to do Shakespeare and you got to kind of stick to the script, and they're like, yeah, they're not really going for this Hamlet tonight. They're not buying it.
I was in Port Hope a couple nights ago, and there was an older gentleman in the audience near the front. We started to riff on the bikini line waxing.
Okay, so kids, what she's talking about now is we have to keep reminding ladies. She does have kids in the house, so I'm not really too sure. But then you have boys, and my boys, my wife is not a hairy lady. Let's throw that out there. So we didn't have to talk about this yet, but they know a lot, more than they're supposed to probably. But at this point, she's talking about being well groomed. Remember how you're putting the gel in your hair there, Ben? Yeah, being well groomed when going where people are going to see things that they're now going to see. So now we're talking about stuff. Go ahead.
You're back to me.
Well, I'm telling you, this is how the show rolls. If you didn't know, there's kids in the room. They actually already just talked to you. They're now listening and nodding, and one's playing cards, but they're listening. And so here we go. I want them to not talk, and I want you to talk. And if I could stop talking, that would be awesome.
Well, I do have to say that I did this to myself like a good Canadian. I didn't even give myself the benefit of my name. You said so nicely, Anne Marie Scheffler, because it's true. I have a funny last name, and instead of like owning it and supporting it, I changed it to Sparkles. But that's something that I come across. I love people.
That's good improv. You didn't build the wall. You didn't build the wall.
I yes-anded, right? I yes-anded. But I do want to go back to my name, which is Scheffler. I find it so funny. I have fans. I have people who are like, I love you. I've seen every one of your shows. I love you, Anne Marie Scheffler. And I'm like, that last name. I just got to marry someone like Michaels, Lauren Michaels. I don't know. I'm kidding.
You're allowed to do what you want with that last name. We're in the business where you're allowed to, there's your name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
I'm more on the Arnold Schwarzenegger side of things. I think you've owned it well enough that we know you. I know you as Anne Marie. You want to promote yourself as that blonde funny girl. I think that's how we're promoting you, or you're promoting yourself, or someone's giving you that accolade.
Right.
I don't even know if you're blonde, actually. The truth of the matter is that I don't know what's going on with the show, but the kids recognize that I am doing a ladies only series because I noticed that this is season 5 and not 25% of the people I talked to were ladies.
Right.
So, and I just want to promote Canadians to Canadians, and that's the idea of the whole heart, and it's parental guidance as I'm in the room, and so are you, and we're doing our best to be above the belt.
Yes.
But be honest, things get to be said, and things should be naturalized, and this is where the conversation will come up. You'll say something that drinking. Can you talk about drinking in front of your children? My children are nodding funnily because we have drinks. They ask me when we're going out, or you're going to get drunk.
Right.
And if you're going to get drunk, don't drive. I mean, when do you not have those conversations, and when do you start them? Because if a 6-year-old can save a life of a 50-year-old, he says, "Hey, sir, you're kind of sloshed. You might not want to be driving." And he'll, "I don't even listen to you, you little punk. You punky wonky." What's his name? Is that Mike Wilmot?
Yeah, that's great.
I was doing Mike Wilmot right there.
Perfect.
And I love Mike Wilmot. I wasn't calling him a drunk. I was just doing this. Anyway, going back to stand-up, because that's not, I don't believe, how we met. We met because I wanted to always be in the acting world, and my whole life in Canada, they took their big finger and they stuck it in my eye and said, "You have to do commercials." And I said, I don't know how to do that, you see, because I'm actually a personality, and I perform things. So I'm never so there's no division between Adam Pal and whatever you see. So if I'm holding up a Kit Kat bar and I don't eat Kit Kat, I love Kit Kat, so Roundtree, if you want to give me a call. But my point being is that I will hold it up. If you want to give me the money or not give me the money, I will tell people I eat Kit Kat.
Right.
Right. So, hey, there's certain companies I won't work for because their politics are devastating, and at night there's not enough heroin and cocaine kids in the world for me to do commercials and sleep at night.
Yeah.
That's my problem. That's not everyone else's problem. Other people are very good following the medicine man and being the guy on the crutches and walking through the crowd and try my elixir. Oh, it works. It works. And then people go out and buy McDonald's and get fat and die. But people, and they call that acting, but what it is commercial storytelling and branding. Mm-hmm. And they're using us. They're using artists. Mm-hmm. Yeah, to wield their cloth, to sell their wares. Do not look behind the curtain. That's what's happening. But I'm now on both sides of that. But I made a decision very early, but it's because I'm ridiculously sensitive. Ridiculously sensitive. No, it's actually not good in the business, and that's why I'm not a stand-up comedian. You have never heard me say I'm a stand-up. You may have seen me on a stage that only supports stand-ups, and I'm there with my guitar. But there's no way I walk through this life ever uttering, just like yourself. I didn't go through Second City. I came through. I was told I'm a musical performer. But I'm a baritone. You tell me any lead that you can get as a baritone in the musical theater, and I'm going. I got 4 callbacks for Rent. Like that's
cool.
No, that's what I wanted to do. That was my goal. My goal was to be in Vegas and and doing show tunes. But then I'm a baritone. I grew up. You don't know what you're going to be when you get there.
Right.
I was singing. Everything was in falsetto, and that was my real setto, until the things, my kids all sing like girls right now. Everyone's soprano. Do you sing? I don't recall, but I know you did musicals.
Well, I don't know about that.
Right. No, I just wanted to know if you were owning it. Like, if I was on stage with Jerry Seinfeld and they said, "Everyone do your talent," I would sing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Well, I don't think I'm funnier than Jerry Seinfeld, and I probably could outdance him, but that would just be weird. I'm getting older. We're all getting older. So I just wanted to make sure that we were clear in our history so people know my kids are here. This is a conversation I wanted to have anyways. That's kind of why I'm tingling.
Okay, well, let me bring it back for you then, Adam. I remember you and I were at the Ben Wicks pub.
Ben Wicks. Is it even around anymore?
God knows. This was in 1947.
47. I remember. Boom, boom, boom.
No, this was like 1991, seriously. And I remember going to Ben Wicks. I could have, maybe my sister Barb was with me too. I'm not sure. But you were there. I feel like you were hosting it. I feel like there was this little blip in the history where you were there, and somehow I attribute that whole evening to you. And we were just chatting afterwards, like excitedly about comedy.
Yes, about comedy, not about stand-up comedy, not about stand-up comedy. Because I knew you, in my eyes, you actually had broken through a wall of success in the world of acting.
Right.
But you owned that you did it through the world of the commercial world. And
I
then,
do.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're allowed to. My best buddy, Christian Potenza, same thing.
Yeah. Same.
And he's now working, with the biggest names in everything. Burt
Yeah.
Reynolds, Robert De Niro. So yeah, no, Canada does work that way. I'm just more Jewish than Canadian at that moment. I mean, that's the truth. The opportunity was there for me to jump on the backs of. And everyone that I know that dressed up like a quarter and walked the streets, and let people film them, found some success because they're willing to take that other step that I'm not. If you heard that I had sponsors, but every sponsor you heard are people that I'm using or are friends of mine.
Right.
Let's go back. Out there with Melissa DeMarco, I mean, you're out of my life for at least 10 years, and then pop, I walk into a writing meeting, and and this is the first time and the only time that the whole writing staff was ladies. And not only ladies, successful ladies. Everybody in that room 5 years later found some form of true success.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, everybody. Renee Percy, yourself. I'm not here to promote other people. I'm here to talk about you. And out there with Melissa DeMarco, you were writing on that show for a bit, and they're now sponsoring this show because this season is supporting ladies. It made sense. It's a good marriage.
Yeah.
So how was your time on the Out There show? Because we really didn't work together on the Out There show. I was on my way back, and you were on your way going to America.
Yeah, well, I was also pregnant. That was a great gig for me at that time because my now 8-year-old son, I was pregnant with him. I just actually did a movie being pregnant with my 8-year-old son. That kid, good luck for me. And he also played a kid in a TV commercial when he was 4 because I got the commercial and then they said, we want your son. So that was a good kid. I like that one, Jake.
Jake's a great name.
Jake's a good name. Named after Jake and Elwood from the Blues Brothers. So
yeah, that's how I named my first cats. So what's your other son's name?
Nathan.
Oh, Nathan.
Yeah.
So you got Nate and Jake. Oh,
that's right.
That's pretty sweet. The only Nate I ever met in the history of life was Deep Snow. Deep. 6 feet under.
Right.
That's the first time I ever heard that name before.
Right. For sure, that's a good movie. It's a good show.
Good show. Great.
It's
a biblical name, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd not owned it as a name because they got the Canaanites and lots of nights going on.
That's right.
Yeah, so out there, you were pregnant during that, so you find yourself after that gig. That's why you were no longer working. You had to take care of a baby.
Well, that's true. Melissa called me days after Jake was born and asked me if I was going to come back. And I did, Adam. I was back in that writer's room because Jake was born January 19th. I was back, say, like January 29th or something. I had the baby in my arms and I was like typing on the computer and had a cell phone in my ear and then like sticking the baby on the boob and like just so, female empowerment, and it was just a great time. In fact, I remember at that time also Jake would fall asleep because that's what babies do. They drink and fall asleep. They drink milk and fall asleep. And I put the baby in the car seat carrier and I made Renee Percy swing that baby, like swing Jakey, so he'll fall asleep so we could continue with the writing meeting. It was a good time.
Oh man, I'm excited for that. So you also October 10th, you're still in Toronto. You're here. You have another. It's the one woman show, but you have several one woman shows that are traveling. But this one is called
MILF Life Crisis.
Now I've tried to explain it to my kids that it's women that are over a certain age that you still want to have fun with.
That's right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Again, I'm always spinning things, and they understand that. And then being single, because they know I'm working on another show called Daddy's Home with a man who has 5 children, and he's recently single.
Wow.
Yeah. So we talk to him on Fridays when he's not opening up for Norm Macdonald or Bill Burr or whatever he's not doing. When he's not working, I call him, and if he answers, then we chat for 3 hours.
Nice.
Well, we just talk dads. Because you don't have my card. We haven't seen each other in a while. But if you look at my card, it says producer, performer, papa.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm a full-time father, and I need to work because I need to make money, like you said. And it's nice to make some money while being creative. I just need a better agent because I am my own agent, and I want to work.
Yes. Yes.
I don't drink beer. I don't watch hockey, and I want to work. Why am I in Canada?
Right.
Why am I here? Other than it's the best place in the world to live. The opportunity came to me, of course, to to do what you've done and to step forward. I was on the travels. I'm going back 2028 to do my touring when all my kids are grown up because I didn't think it was a good way to live. At least I couldn't own the way to live, but I really think it's a great way to retire.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So a question: are you from a big family?
Well, there were 4 kids in the family. Is
No,
that
four's
big?
good. Yeah. Four's
Yeah.
big enough that you have to go over here. No,
Yeah,
seriously,
exactly.
over here. Okay,
It's
no,
true.
because
There's competition.
great.
There's
No, for competition for attention.
Mummy's attention. Yeah.
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 Yeah, so mommy's attention. No, there's no. I'm not a therapist. Parents' attention. Are you trying to get?
Parents. So my dad was, of course, fabulous father, but he was working. But so it's the mom taking care of the kiddies, and it's like, mommy, love me most. Mommy, carry me around. That kind of thing.
And mom liked when whoever's the funniest got carried.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think whoever was the funniest got the other three's laughter. It was all about the laughter. Being carried, you kind of have to give it up after a while. You only get bigger and heavier. You can't stay small. But no, seriously, hearing the laughter, as you probably feel, is such immediate gratification, and it's a good sign. And it's healing. This is the other thing.
Right.
Like I don't ever want to do a show unless it makes the world a better place.
Right.
There's no point in me getting on stage and make people leave going, I feel worse. Like that's
No, I understand, and that's kind of why I stopped performing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really there for me. I mean, I'm really trying to work things out, and I'm telling jokes that came from a place that that's how jokes get made. So I had to stop. And I pulled myself off the road, but now I'm more like I always was, which is a performer. I should always be singing. It should just actually feel like you've walked into a musical. Everything out of my mouth should be sung, or I shouldn't be talking, or I'm just I'm not being nice.
Right.
Yes, I know me. So another song, please. So
Lovely.
yeah, that's where I am. Definitely performing on that edge. I wanted to be in Vegas. Did you make it to Vegas? Did you do some Vegas time?
I did do some Vegas time, and funny, I've got this booking agent who is based out of Vegas, and there's no reason you can't be in Vegas. You just let Vegas know, Adam. Let Vegas know.
No, I know. No, that's what I'm saying. Because the one-woman show, it's empowering. I'm going to call it the one-person show, and I like to know what the difference between calling it a one-person show and now saying not only can I do it 8 times and have success doing it, I can teach you how to do it.
I do. Yeah, that's true. I feel like I've got a PhD in storytelling. Not that I have a PhD, but I came up through being a good student and loving English, and I went to University of Toronto, got a bachelor's in English for some reason. Then I went to theater school.
Right.
I have immigrant parents who were like, "What? Don't be an actor. Have something like have a real degree to fall back on," which I resented for so long. But it gave me, I don't know, some sort of foundation, blah, blah, blah. And then, as I went out into the world, and all I wanted was someone else to hire me, and so I was so thrilled that I was able to be successful in TV commercials. That was the biggest thing I did for the beginning of my career was TV commercials, Second City, all that stuff was very mainstream. And I had the good look for it. I had the good attitude for it. I'm very grateful for that. But then also, without meaning to, I started to write my own pieces and write my own monologues and write my own shows. And I also attribute a lot of my success to clowning. I'm a professionally trained Pachenko clown. And I think I think the entertainment industry is so important, and it's so fabulous when you're doing it and when it's paying you and it's all great. But it's for experts. It's for people who are experts in the field. And my expertise comes from training and finding the tools that I need. And one huge part of my toolkit is clowning, which is big in Toronto, and it's big in any kind of theater school or people who admire this stuff. So should I go on my clowning rant right now, Adam?
No, you have us sold. We are Europeans and people who come from a place that speak different languages, and how you can cross borders is with the puppetry of your face. And clearly that is something that is storytelling to itself. You don't need words with clowning, especially in this country. So
Yeah.
you just have to run for office. I
Nice.
can't help it. Right now, I'm scared. I'm just walking door to door saying, just don't vote for who's in power. Who
That's
should I
right.
vote for? I don't know. Don't put that on me. I would go with none of the above, but I don't think that's a good answer either. Everyone should vote in anything that's going on. If for ACTRA, for anything, if your unions,
Yes.
whatever, go out, be empowered. You do have a voice, and
Yeah.
yeah, you have a voice. Be a clown about it. I do love clowning. I would also. See, I'm a doer. I get
Mm,
hired to do something, and then they train you on the job because they want you to be able to do it. But the reason you're doing it because you already have an idea
yeah.
of what to do. Like you
Yeah.
know how to do it. Yeah, like that. So that's kind of where I've always been. I've always been one step ahead of people who are like, no, you're supposed to be in the class. And I said, I'm pretty sure I should help you teach it. Which is a bad place to be as a performer. And I've only gone through life that way. Anytime I've ever stepped on stage, the people I'm surrounded with are like, "Can you do it?" Like, it's been that's my life. All my friends are my friends because of music. They don't know until I just let's entertain ourselves. And it's let's put on a show. I'm Mickey Rooney, but I got Danny Kaye in my blood.
That's good. That's
That's
good.
who I am. And so he asked who your influences were, and I don't think I heard a clear answer because you went family. Like I think he
Did
was
I?
I think he was thinking like he wanted to hear what the other people in his he's had over 50, 60 shows now. And so who are their influences is an answer. So he was looking for a person, a place, something that happened. But your family really is the drive. Like it's still this way. Like you didn't go out into the city and say, "Oh, I want to do it like that," or you saw Gilda Radner once, and Gilda Radner, sorry guys, I didn't mean to throw out a name like that, but an old time performer from SNL actually traveled through. Oh man, I wish I would have got to see her live performance of the Jesus story, the gospel.
Yeah, Godspell.
Yeah,
You were too young, Adam. You were way too
no,
young.
I was old enough.
No, you weren't.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah.
I knew I always liked you for a bunch of reasons, but your last name wasn't Jewish enough for me.
It wasn't
It
enough.
wasn't. But if you had a Jewish last name, I still wouldn't have hung out with you because I don't need you. I don't need to be with someone who's funnier than I am, or at least is attempting to be. You don't need two people in the business. That's another thing I've
That's
been
true.
promoting. One person should, as I like Minnie Holmes said, should be making a living.
I heard her say that. Listen, my joke when I married a chef, so my last name is Scheffler, SCH,
Nice.
F-L-E-R.
Oh,
But
Scheffler.
now Scheffler, it's with the S in front of it. In fact, I did a TV series with Tim Steves and a bunch of stand-up comics.
Yeah.
And he would always introduce me as the chef. The chef is in the house. And so I
Nice.
was like,
No, that's
yeah.
a good mnemonic device. I wish I had that before I started. I don't watch a lot of Tim Steves. He scares me.
He's
He
very
scares
powerful
me.
man. He's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
powerful
he
man.
scares me. I once went to see him, and it was my first year of learning the art of comedy. So I was watching him sitting in the front row.
Oh, sorry, Jakey. I told you I was upstairs doing. I'm sorry, Adam.
No. You
My
don't- no, no.
8-year-old.
You do not have to apologize for being a mom at all. Like, we got kids here too.
I'm
This
being
is
a
all for-
bad mom. I said I was going upstairs to do the podcast.
You are.
and,
It's not a podcast. I hate Apple.
no.
It's a Palm.
It's a Palmcast.
Palmcast. Yeah, no. If you need to take care of something and come back in a minute, we're good. If he's good, just hey, we're just for settling up.
Okay, let me just put you on hold for 1 second. I'll just come right back. Okay.
Yeah, please. Okay, boys. All right, so see, everyone has kids sometimes, and that's what's important. Kids are important. This is a priority situation. Anytime something happens in your life, you get something happening, and it becomes a priority. Next week, please join us here next week. So thank you for that. No, I like that you have children. I like that you're the authentic you. I like that you're a performer. We didn't get together because you're a performer. We didn't even chat that way. You were more interesting as a friend than you would ever have been as a mate. But that's just because that's how I go through life. What are you going to bring to the table? Because I'm already bouncing off the walls.
That's right. Well, what I wanted to go back to when you asked me.
Chef, that's where I
Chef.
was. I was talking about chef all day long, and then I was like, if he's a chef, like a chef, then he is also part of the art world, and you have those little inklings of that could be. I've never sat with a chef and then ate his food at the table, and then had to go, yeah, that's okay. That's like you. Hey, what do you think of this joke? Meh.
Yeah, right.
Meh. I want to punch you in the face with words. With words. Anyways.
Well, the sad ending of that story is that I'm no longer with my chef husband. I'm now a single mom, and And
have
I
to
think
cook your own food. That's yeah.
it's terrible.
It isn't terrible. It isn't terrible. What's okay, because you got two beautiful children out
I
of it.
do.
You got strength. You have the stories. You know what you like and you know what you don't like. You know what you're looking for. You're growing. Don't put yourself in a position that we're now living in India, and if you're 5 years old and you got divorced, you're tainted goods. Here we go.
Right.
That's not right. That's not right. I only have 3 boys, so I don't know how to cry when someone abuses women, other than I don't think it's a good idea.
Right. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so I went out of my way. No one came forward and said, hey, Adam, why don't you have 13 shows all about women, supporting Canadian women, about Canadian women. And being a single mom is, that's its own day. That's its own day. That is its own show. That could be 8 one-women shows. That's its own entity. So I don't know anything about being a single mom, and I'm pretty sure I actually don't listen to most female comedians because what they're saying to me has nothing to do with my life, right? Like what they're saying doesn't affect my life personally, because I'm usually missing you have to connect with an audience. And I only have boys in my life. I've had many marriages in my life, and I'm the most opinionated person I know. So it's very difficult to have a woman who did I tell? I told this to every lady who's been on the show because they have to listen. So I tell them that my whole life I was told when a woman falls down, you help them back up. You don't laugh at them.
You don't laugh at anybody. Pick anybody up.
No. See, I was never saying when Dave falls down. Dave falls down, it's funny. Davina falls down. Oh, you okay, ma'am? Can I get that for you?
Oh, I see.
It's a mindset, and then the woman will have to say on stage, "No, don't worry, I'm a professional." Like I'm gonna fall again. Watch this, and that's why in my world, women have a harder time when you get up on stage, unless you're Rosanna Byrne. I mean, oh no, what's coming at me? It's a train wreck already. I'm ducking, and then she says something funny, and I'm allowed to laugh,
right?
Because something's wrong already. Like if she I'm going to use the word lipstick on a pig, but I don't mean it what you mean. Anyway, I apologize for that. You're not ugly. Take it that way. And that's what I'm telling my kids. Not ugly, right, lady? There's a picture of her. She's not ugly. And so it might make it a little difficult because you could steal the women's men. Well,
I think this is an interesting subject because I want to tell you how much support there is with female comedians.
That's actually what this is all about. Yes, please.
Like I'm telling you, Carla Collins, whenever I'm in LA, we go for lunch in Malibu. She puts me on her show. She comes to my shows. I go to her shows. She couldn't be more supportive. And it's not because of anything except that we're both women in this industry doing the Toronto LA thing. I didn't grow up with her or anything. I just reached out to her and she's like, come and be my friend now.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we're going to be my friend in the support that we're both female comedians pulling this off.
Yeah, and also Renee Percy has been a lifelong friend. My friend Precious Chong, huge supporting friend and also successful comedian and single mom. It's incredible how there's a sisterhood. All of those women, Rebecca Kohler, all these, Christina Walkinshaw, Christine Von Hagen. I mean, you see that there's amazing Canadian.
I gotta throw in Melissa DeMarco. You had a baby, and come on, work for me with child.
She's always at my shows. She's always there for me. I love Melissa. Huge important person in my life. Thank you for saying that. I can't believe it. I kind of it was a given.
It's given because
that's why I didn't.
Yeah, she's one of the sponsors of the show, supporting the women for which I've reached out to. Every woman that's on the list, I passed by her so she can say, is this someone that? Because the week that just passed was an entrepreneur. She worked in the Cayman Islands and was a banker, and then came back to Canada and now is in cupcakes. Follow your dream is what we're going with on that. Did I lose you?
Nice. I listened to that. Yes. Yeah, I liked her. No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can totally hear you. It's one of those things when you're, anyway, there's no music. I don't know what just took place. Okay. Right. So we going through everything. Magic, the performing. You what you like better? Because when you are making TV,
what are you asking me?
What do you like better when you're performing? Because when we make TV, it's like putting on little vignettes of stage and theater. That's how I find it now. I mean, when I'm making television and movies, I feel like I'm
Mhm.
I'm at the theater, but I get to move where
Mhm.
the audience is sitting.
Yeah, yeah. I like the reach of, webisodes or TV or film. I love that because you do it, you perfect it, you love it, you finesse it, you're happy with it, and it's living in the world, and people can click on the link and love you over and over again, and it's sort of out there doing the work for you. And then when you go to do a performance, that's a different kind of high. You're on stage, you don't know what kind of magic is going to be in the room that night. Is someone going to heckle you? Are you going to be on fire in a way you've never been on fire before? What beautiful magic can come of it? So they're both delicious. It's delicious.
Right? No, I like the word delicious. What I like, though, is when you're on the stage of making the television or the film that you're so involved that you treat it like what the
Ah,
energy in the
yes.
room, the people that are surrounding you there are the people that are helping you facilitate the making of this production. As you're all producers, you're all involved, you're all writers, you're all invested in the
Mm-hmm.
project. So you all get to walk through it, and you just basically try not to laugh. And then when you
You're
get it,
right.
then you do it again because you're professionals. You get to take the take two of what everyone thought was ridiculously funny.
Yes, true. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, that's the mighty wind approach that I can't see any more than writing 3 letters or 3 words in a pitch and say these are the people that are going to make these 3 words come to light.
Right. I hear what you're saying. I hear
Right.
what you're saying.
So now as a writer, let's say you write a script, right?
Hmm.
So what did I get from that? You like this? You like both are delicious. There's no division between TV or being in the theater. Both have their own pluses and minuses, and they both have their own.
Yeah, like
No better. No one better than the other.
I always say if I could marry TV, I would marry TV. I'm so in love with TV. To me, TV is my favorite thing in the world. But it might be the live performance gets me to TV. I remember being with Danny DeLeo, my agent, when I was getting the comedy special, and she said to me, "Don't go get pregnant right now," which I did. But she said,
Nice.
she said, Anne Marie, you're gonna have a big career. I can see you as like the wife on Everybody Loves Raymond. And I said to her, "No, Danny, I'm Raymond.
Right.
I feel just as much. I have as much to say, or I have a clear point of view, the way any male stand-up would have. That you build a TV series around. I mean, this is the way the industry goes. Who knows if it still goes that way?
Right.
But there's a tradition in Hollywood that you take a comedian like a Roseanne,
Mm-hmm.
like a Ray Romano, and you
Like an
build
Adam Sandler.
like an Adam Sandler, where you build a series around him, like Seinfeld. Seinfeld is the best example.
Where's Adam Sandler's TV show?
Well, he doesn't need. He's his own production company. His
Yeah,
TV
he
show.
should have a TV show. Like, well, Rock had one. Come on, that one was awesome. Like Adam Sandler. See,
Adam Sandler's doing movies now. That's
nah, he
his
isn't. He
TV
really
show is
isn't.
SNL. He already had his TV show.
That's a good way to look at it. No,
Yeah,
I never thought of it that way.
yeah.
I never
But
thought of it that way.
what I like, this is a moment, a pivotal moment in my life. I was just going with the flow. I came from the small town, doing what I was doing in Toronto, getting lots of TV commercials, doing the fringe circuits. My first characters were Norma Green, Potato Queen, the Polish princess from the small town Ontario in the big city of Toronto. Like that was how I got on stage. I had this very wide-eyed Pollyanna character, and I was selling out the fringe circuit in Edmonton and Kelowna and San Francisco, and I was scouted by HBO. And so like obviously I had some kind of comedic voice that was fun and people loved. And I always say to you, I like to change the world. So I always had this idea of it might be funny, but it's giving a bit of a lesson, which is don't be a format.
Another book other than Faster, Louder, Funnier.
Yeah.
You could be the mother trucker.
Yeah, I used to call Suddenly Mummy mother sucker because it was like you're a sucker when you're a mom because you'll do anything for these kids.
Wrong, and you find that's part of the. I mean, I don't know what I did before I had the children. Honestly,
Right.
I really was blowing my life away. I clearly didn't have focus that I have now. This is what my life is. I am a father. So as a mother, they weren't a gorder on my neck and then popped off me and then started talking. It's a different day for kids for women. Men don't even take it as theirs until that kind of looks like me.
Right, right. There you go. Well, I feel that before I had kids, I think you tell the same story all the time. As comedians, as entertainers, like there's a very clear philosophy. And I've studied with some people where you're an archetype. You know, Kathy Bates is always a nurse. In Misery, she's an evil nurse, but she's always a caretaker. And Han Solo is always, who's the guy who
Oh, hi, Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, he's always the unbelieved. Nobody believes him. He's this hero that nobody believes. Tom Cruise is always risky business. He's always a normal guy in risky situations. So you know who you are by what roles you get, what stories you tell, what the reviewers say.
Right.
You know, who are you? And I am a very nice person who gets walked over. And that's the story I always tell. I'm a people pleaser. I'm a Pollyanna. So my show, Not Getting It, which is I'm very proud of it, my comedy special, it's just the story of a girl looking for love and dating all these guys who are happy to have sex with her and don't want to marry her. And I'm like, I wonder why no one is marrying me, because I'm behaving like a tramp, because I just think that sex is love. And then I have to finally go, don't walk all over me. I can't just be nice. I actually have to have a backbone. And I tell the same story again with Suddenly Mummy, which is a huge show for me. I go to different cities. I'm in big theaters, in people's theater seasons. It's a big deal for me, and I love this show. But I was doing with my children the same thing I did with my boyfriends, which is I love them so much. They can just walk all over me, and I have to, in the show, say no to my sons. I can't say no to my children. And in the show, you see me go from being a party girl to, having boyfriends, to having these babies and losing myself to these children and not knowing how to deal with it, to a point where I'm considering just taking the luggage and leaving them with my sister, who's a perfect mother. But instead, Celine Dion appears and, tells me to get a backbone, and I end up being a good mom. And so I think I tell the same story over and over again, which is I'm a people pleaser. And I only tell the story because I think people relate to it. It's my truth. And then I have people coming up to me afterwards and saying, I've got the same issue. I am such a sucker for my kids, or I'll do whatever my husband says because I don't want to rock the boat. We have to empower each other, human beings, men or women. But right. The more authentic you are to who you are, the better off you can serve the world much better.
Yeah, well, I actually know that to be you, the authentic you on and off stage when you're not putting on a character, because you're also an actress, so you are allowed to put on the 5 faces of whichever. So when you are being you, though, you have an authentic voice, and like now, you kept it clear and almost as clean as you could in front of children. So how would you put this on your from your last post? I'll just utilize that. How would you put this on your vision board? To say you need not to think of others, you need to focus on you. Would you put a picture of yourself on your vision board?
That's funny. That's a funny thing. I don't know what I would put. I might put a microphone. That the clarity of the voice is so important to me.
Right. No, but at this point, I want you to not be. Keep that beat so you can utilize it in your shows. But at the end of the day, the reason I started with, are you a comedian? Do you recognize just being a stand-up comedian? And that's funny because you don't. Because if you said you did, I'd ask you, how are you? And are you on the right meds? Like, are you feeling okay? Like, the second that's happening, you can be in a really, really bad place because you think it needs to come from a bad place. But you could be a writer. You can make these situations from the old situation you used to be in. You don't have to still keep yourself in that situation.
Right, yeah.
All right. So when I talked to Mark Breslin, that was one of the things that we hope to push forward for all performers, to recognize that you're performing your art. Mm-hmm. And someone else has to call you an artist is the problem. So if you get up there and that's the problem. You need to find your support system, whatever pushes you through. So vision, that vision board actually, it's a thing. You actually use a vision board?
I don't. I was being kind of sarcastic and funny. I don't. I do. I meditate every morning. I get up and I, look at my goal list, I suppose.
No, goal list is almost the same exact day, except it's words instead of pictures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the same idea. So if I have a to-do list, which is very now.
Right. Very now.
Very very meta.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have, as I said, I'm going back on the road in 2028.
You got it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
hold the vision. Hold the vision.
Yeah. Vision hold. And I'm trying new meds, and they gave me a stimulant instead of a depressant. So that's working out, I'm pretty sure. I can't wait to listen back to all of this. That's all I'm saying. The new meds are probably not working. So you said faster, louder, funnier. It's coming soon?
Yes, it's coming soon.
And you keep mentioning a comedy special. Is that one coming, or because you have so many in your pocket? I'm not talking about on stage. I'm talking about on television.
Oh, well, that one it's the comedy special I'm talking about. My 1 hour comedy special has passed. It's
Okay. So,
so
is a goal for you then to be like the HBO girl of to get one a year, and if you could, you would.
Sure would, yeah.
Okay. So that's it. So so putting out your. Do you find though after you put your live stage show on tape that it's how do you make it live stage show anymore? But I guess Shakespeare pulled it off.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I don't like I have a situation where my play Suddenly Mummy is a live stage show, and I don't really have that full thing online that people are, they get snippets, they get the 3-minute sizzle, but if they want to come to the show, they come to the show in the theater in the city near them.
Right.
And people are actually calling for not getting it to be booked back on the road, which is interesting and fun, and I love that show.
All right, and on the 10th of October, you're here in town.
That's it, MILF Life Crisis. That's my big deal. I love it right now. It's my, you can be dating again in your 40s, and it's fun and sexy and empowering, and I love it. And it's great because I feel like you, as a comedian or an artist, you need to push the edge, right? You need to be at the forefront. You have to be at the leading edge of what's going on in the world. Otherwise, you want to be useful. So I don't want to go. I'm not thrilled that my marriage ended. It's heartbreaking. However, other people, men and women, are going through a new renaissance of dating again, and I'm addressing it. And people come to the show and say, I feel better because my husband and I are breaking up, and I'm watching your show made me feel like it's going to be okay. And that's helpful. That's what I do.
Yeah, no, that's what people who are in the performance business, especially the comedy business, do. They take the most tragic and show you where that hopefully that silver lining can be, and if it isn't the silver lining, at least how crazy was that, anyways?
Yeah.
Look at that. So, you got 2 boys, you got a sweet career. Is there anywhere else? I know you have your. I can't believe you mentioned Adam Sandler. He made my trying to be a stand-up comic not work because my name is Adam. I always wore a hat. And I had a guitar. So it was always play the turkey song. And I have to be honest, I wasn't really too sure what they meant at the time because I didn't put my I'm Adam Sandler to the turkey song.
Oh,
But it was a thing. And then they were like, you're like Bob Saget off stage. And I went, I don't understand. I'm like, I'm the guy from Full House. But if you've ever seen his live stage show, then you would know what they're actually saying about Adam Pal. And you can't believe Adam Pal has kids and he's doing a PG show. That's right. And he was cleaner than Miss Sparkles. So Mrs. Sparkles, yes. I can't wait to tell people. I can't wait. Kenny Robinson was capable of keeping it clean.
And so. I couldn't. Oh, jeez. Oh, what does it say?
I know. It says that being a mom is tough. And you're showing that getting through it together, as supportive women seem to do. I'm very happy to hear that. I have a big, huge smile on my face. Is there anywhere we can reach out to you?
You got to follow me on Twitter at Clearly Blonde. And
is that with an E?
Yes, that's with an E. Yeah, at Clearly Blonde is my handle, and see what I'm up to. And I would love to, continue to serve the world with my comedy and be relevant. I hope, and I'm just grateful that I get to do what I do, and I have kids, and I get to go out in the world and find love again. It's all good.
Yes, and I'm happy that that's what you're doing. And I didn't know. It was great to catch up with you. I'm glad to know that I am married and happily. If I wasn't, I'd date you.
Oh, thank you, Adam.
Yeah, with or without the kids, they can come. I don't care.
They can come.
Of course they can come. It'd be like the Brady Bunch. I should introduce you to Jason, the guy from my dad's show. Then you guys could be the Brady Bunch.
Perfect.
I think that would be fun just to record.
I love it.
I'm gonna have you. You're gonna be the first woman on my daddy show.
Okay,
I will try to set you up.
Let's follow this romance.
Yeah, Jason Fred, like a coffee commercial, which is so up your alley.
Let's do it.
I'm pretty sure that we'll get followers.
I know we will.
People are going to want to know what's brewing. All right, thank you very much for your time. My kids say thank you. I say thank you. I am so happy for your success. I will post this so people will know on the Thursday before the Friday. For on the Saturday, you will be here.
Perfect. Thanks, Adam.
You're more than welcome. And say hey to your kids for me.
I will. Thanks, boys. Bye.
Bye now.
Theme song.
Yes, I signed my soul on the dotted line.